In the first half, guys did a good job in being able to handle that, to be able to go in, up at halftime. But then, we get into the fourth quarter, and obviously the fumble was huge. I mean, we had some huge plays with penalties that cost us, and when you sit there and you talk about accountability, you talk about your work, you talk about emphasis, but we got to do it in the course of a game, and just we're not doing that consistently enough. And each game you get one shot at it. So I don't think this team has stopped fighting. I don't believe that there's pullback in it. It's just you got 3-1 freaking score losses, and we've earned every one of them. So it pisses me off.
Hey Eric, it's David.
Hey David, this is Eric.
Good to see you, man.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that? That was head coach Mike Norvell of the Florida State Seminoles. Would you agree with that sentiment?
The sentiment of him being, in his words, pissed off?
Yeah. I think that might be the sentiment of a lot of folks in the Tallahassee area.
A lot of fans nationwide.
A lot of alumni and fans nationwide. Yes. Yeah. I think I would agree with it. That was Norvell talking after Saturday's third consecutive ACC loss to the Pittsburgh Panthers
this year.
Yeah,
3 ACC losses in a row.
Hey, but we're 3-3.
Yes.
We still have the ability for a winning season.
Yes, we do.
I'm going to take that back. There is still a chance that we could have a winning season. Whether we have the ability for that comes into question, right?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, man, it is time for another edition of Tally Benchwarmers here on WFSU, the podcast that at least dozens, maybe upwards of dozens of listeners pay attention to every week. Coming out of WFSU Public Media, I'm David Mullins, and you're Eric Carter.
That's what you tell me.
Yeah, and we sit on the bench before, during, and after the games, and we have things to say.
Actually, you're a lot closer to the bench during the games.
Yeah, because I'm actually out on the field taking photos and enjoying it. It's a lot more fun when we win than when we lose.
Absolutely.
And, man, I tell you, it's been a rough last 3 weeks, last 2 weeks at Doak. The Miami game, it was tough. And then Saturday against the Pittsburgh Panthers, we were 10-point favorites. 10.5-point favorites.
Yes.
Lost by 3, but really, I mean, it felt like it should have been worse than that.
Well, you think about it like this: there was 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
Consecutive plays.
Yeah.
They were driving to score.
Yeah, they were. They were
driving to score.
I know. So let's those were the 2, I guess, best defensive plays. We got a sack or 2 in there too, but yeah, it was not a fun weekend of college football here in Tallahassee. We'll talk about our FAMU Rattlers in a little bit too. Yes, but there are some other things happening in college football outside of the universe of Tallahassee, Florida, that we kind of live in, the bubble here, right?
I like our bubble.
It's a good bubble to have, but it's a much better bubble to have when we win.
Yeah, because then we can enforce our bubble on everybody else.
Yeah. The one thing that didn't happen this week, I mean, we lost games, but we didn't fire our head coach.
No.
Which actually seemed to be
that was trending.
That was trending over the weekend, right? Wow. Not necessarily a huge surprise because people were talking about it, but Penn State made a move.
Yes. They made a business decision, and I applaud them for that.
Yeah. James Franklin out as the head coach. Buyout amount was how much?
I think
it was around $50 million, right?
I think it was $53 million.
It was. When you start talking about millions at that level, I mean, who cares about 1 or 2 million?
Right.
That's a couple of million between friends, right?
I don't think he's a friend with them right now.
He may not be a friend, but you know what?
They're still going to be paying him.
They're going to pay him a lot of money not to coach their team.
Yes.
Man, I tell you, You know what? If
we're in the wrong business.
it would be great. I would love to be paid. I mean, actually,
Not to work.
If you but if you paid me millions to work, I would do it too.
Yes.
But to pay
But
millions
pay me,
not to worry.
you can
not
pay
to
me
worry.
millions not to work.
Yeah. So Penn State on a 3-game losing streak too, right?
Yeah, they coincides with ours.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. The firing not coinciding, at least
Not yet.
not quite yet.
Yeah,
But yeah. But Penn State they were preseason number 1.
2.
They were preseason number 2.
Yeah.
They have taken, I'm going to use a big word, precipitous fall.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good word, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
It is like the rain falling.
It is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Wow. See, man, look at that. You're a lot smarter than you look. Let me put it that way.
Glad we're on radio.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But there were other coaches that now have been dismissed just over the weekend, right?
Yes, the Oregon State coach got dismissed.
Okay.
I can't remember his name. And also Trent Dilfer,
Trent Dilfer.
former Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
And he was coaching at UAB.
UAB. See, I didn't even know he was
Yes.
coaching.
And they let him go.
Probably not as big of a buyout as James Franklin.
No, but his record kind of it precipitated
Yeah.
the necessity for him to be fired. He was 9-21 in 3 seasons.
3 seasons. Well, I guess he had.
And it was an 18-game road losing streak in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have actually, between the two of us, we've got a potential for maybe 3 head coaching jobs they could look at us for.
Yes.
Be great. Yeah.
Look, if we can get that 80% guarantee part
Yeah,
of our contract, I'm in.
You would take any of the 3.
Yes.
Oregon. I forget I forget where in Oregon State is, but Oregon's a beautiful state, man.
Yes.
It's
It's a lot.
yeah. I think I might like that better than Penn State.
Speaking of Oregon,
Oh yeah, what happened?
those
Something else
Ducks
happened.
didn't swim too well this weekend.
Game day was there for the game,
Yes.
Oregon, Indiana, right?
Yes.
And man, I saw him at the very beginning. It was dark.
It was.
It would have been like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning for them to go live.
Yeah.
And the Ducks, they were
Still sleeping.
they must have been sleeping because Indiana is continuing to climb in the rankings.
Number 3.
Number 3 now.
After knocking off number 3.
And I mean, we've talked about Indiana for the past couple of seasons, but wow, that team is for real.
They built a good program.
They built and again, you think of Indiana, you think of Illinois as basketball schools, but
Right.
man, Indiana is making a definite name.
They're making noise.
Yeah. So the new top 25 is out. Ohio State stayed at 1. Miami now is
They stayed at 2.
they stayed at 2.
Yes.
And then followed by Indiana A&M with their win over the Swamp Lizards.
Yes. I'm not
The Florida
heartbroken about
Gators.
that.
Not heartbroken. I've got friends who are Gators, and my wife is an Aggie. She graduated back. I'm not going to tell you what year she graduated.
Last year.
Yeah, it was just last year.
Yeah.
But but so I didn't. For me, I was like, I don't know who to root for. But A&M, they were. I think they were 5. Now they're 4.
Yeah.
Ole Miss still continues. Alabama,
They had a tough game against Washington
they
State.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw I was following the scoreboard there, and oh wow, yeah, that's Texas Tech. I tell you, is another team that is
They're for real.
They're for real.
Yeah.
That
the Red Raiders.
That the Texas Tech is in the Big 12.
Yes, the Big 12.
They're in the Big 12. Yeah. And then Oregon dropped to 8, Georgia's 9, LSU's 10. Yeah.
That Georgia win, we should put an asterisk by.
What was the deal with Kirby and Clappin calling timeout, all this crap?
Well,
what's going on?
One of the things was in that game, Auburn was actually scored,
Yeah. Okay.
but the quarterback fumbled the ball.
Okay.
But he had already crossed the plane. The referees didn't call it. The defensive player did exactly what you're supposed to do. You play to the whistle. He came out of the pile with the ball, and he ran the other way.
Okay.
So instead of it being 17-0, it ended up being 10-7.
Right.
And then Georgia went on to win the game.
Yeah.
But, 17-0
versus
10-7
10-7 is a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but Georgia, he found a way to win. So,
Man,
good-
Alabama
good
hung
for
on.
them. Alabama hung on. Look who else is that we should be talking about here in the great state of Florida. South Florida is climbing in the rankings. They're 19
Yes.
in the AP.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And my Texas Longhorns with their victory over Oklahoma.
Archie looked golden.
Archie, yeah, he's maybe not the golden arm because they didn't rely on the passing game really. But,
Well, in that game, that rivalry game, like
Yeah.
I said, anything happens, and whoever rushes for the most yards usually wins that game.
yeah, and so Texas jumped back in. They had dropped out of the top 25,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then just like Penn State with their losses,
Right.
they dropped out of the top 25. But with this win, they came back in at 21. So lots of moving parts in the AP poll.
Yeah.
We dropped, right? FSU we were hanging on.
Yeah.
And we just dropped right out of there. And with that, that's kind of a nice little thing to kind of get into. Oh yeah, the war chant.
It still sounds good no matter what the record is.
Even when we're losing, but I'm telling you, it's tough when you lose
Yeah.
and you hear the war chant, and you hear that even in that fourth quarter touchdown, and people are like, yeah, but another onside attempt that didn't go our way.
When you have to rely on onside kicks for a win.
That was 4 onside kicks in the last 5 quarters.
Yes.
No, 5 quarters,
Yeah.
right? Because they were all in the fourth quarter against Miami. Yeah, and I'm telling you, that stupid way that is that an NCAA rule now that the ball has to lay on its side? You can't kick it onside off the tee?
No, that's just a preference that a team does because you can kick it off the tee.
Okay. After what happened against Miami, I think I would have, if I was special teams coach,
Yeah.
I think I would have at least
Go back to the traditional.
go back to change it up.
Yeah.
Although I saw it, I actually got a photo of the ball. Our guy, he had an arm coming in for the ball, but the
He just
pit
laid on
guy-
top of it.
Yeah, the pit guy just came right to him. So
Yeah.
it was. But
And,
Man.
with the rule, you got to wait for it to go 10 yards.
yeah.
But you can blast them, though. See, the thing is, they could have hit him.
Why don't
They-
they?
I
Why
don't
didn't
know.
they? Yeah. Man, by the way, talking about blasting real quick, going to pivot from FSU just for a second. Did you see that hit that the Missouri defender laid on that Alabama receiver? Just flat out, I think it may have knocked him out. I'm not sure.
It was serious.
It was, yeah. It was
clean.
Was it clean?
Yes.
Okay.
It was
I
clean.
didn't pay enough attention to it to know whether it was clean or not. But man, that was a hit.
That was a bang bang.
That was a 1970s Jack Tatum hit. Remember Jack Tatum?
Oh, yeah. Dick
Oklahoma.
Buckus.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about those big Ronnie Lott. That was a Ronnie Lott hit.
That was definitely a
Yeah,
Ronnie Lott
yeah.
hit. Yes.
So yeah, we're showing our age. but yeah, let's talk about that game. 3 consecutive losses.
3 consecutive ACC losses.
ACC losses.
We don't.
Let's go back to last season. Except for the Cal game.
Yes.
Except for the Cal game, we would have 11 straight ACC losses.
Correct.
But we've lost 10 out of the last 11.
10 out of the last 11. 3 straight this year.
And the Cal game wasn't a gimme. I mean, it wasn't. It was close.
If their place kicker could actually was able to hit that field goal, then we lose that game.
Yeah. But and this we were a 10. You said 10.5.
10.5 point favorite.
That they made the Pitt true freshman QB first road start of his career.
First start.
It was his. No, I thought that he had a start, but maybe I know.
No,
he
came in. He came in the second half of the game before.
Okay,
and it was his first true start, and it was a road start. Here in Tallahassee.
We're talking about the kid. His name is Mason Heinchel.
Yes, Heichel.
Heichel?
Yes.
Heichel, okay. Definitely a kind of a Rust Belt name, that thing, you know.
Absolutely.
I think, and I saw a clip where the one of the coaches was really proud of when they recruited him and brought him in.
Yes.
But we made him look like, our defense allowed him to look like
Carson Beck.
Carson, well, even better than Carson Beck, because he probably, the holes
Yes.
that were in when he would scramble just a little bit, and then looking at it from either end of the end zone, man, I could have run through that. I could have driven my car through some of those holes. And I think he rushed for 64 yards.
Yeah.
Threw for 321.
He had a good as a first time starter.
Yeah. 2 INTs.
2 INTs.
Which thankfully for us, turned into
because they
scores.
were actually in position to score both times.
I looked at the QB rating at the end of the game, and Tommy actually had a higher rating, significantly higher rating.
221 rating.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for these INTs, then that Heichel would have had a much higher rating.
Well, and this is the thing. Like I told you last week, I said, to me, this was a trap game for FSU.
Yeah.
And I said because Pitt has the ability to score 40 points on anybody.
Well, we held them to 34.
Yes, minus 2 interceptions.
So we held them to 34.
But
the trouble is we only scored 31, but yeah.
But the thing is, the tone of the game was set on that first drive.
It was.
3 times, 4th down conversions.
Yeah, 3 in a row.
3.
Well, I guess that makes sense if you didn't have one in a row. That was a stupid comment, Mullins.
No. 3 times because you got to think like this because
I guess
a couple of those were they had a 4th down and then they got a 1st down the next set of series so
but that you're right, the tone was set there because I think they realized
they were playing to win from the very beginning.
And they realized, hey, we can move the ball against these guys.
Yes.
And man, I tell you, they had 2. One was a running back, I think one was a receiver. 2 little short guys, I think number 0, number 5.
Yes, they lit us up.
They did, man. I'm telling you, the Desmond Reed, I think, was
the receiver.
He's
the
running back.
Yes,
but he caught 8 passes for 155 yards.
Yes,
and then he ran for another 44. He by himself, 200 total yards on the game. But I could kind of understand how maybe you could miss him because
he wasn't very big.
He wasn't very big. But how many times was there a receiver, either a running back or a receiver, just sitting there wide open right in the middle of the field?
They didn't even utilize their tight ends like they should have.
Yeah,
because their tight ends were wide open.
Yeah, but just right. Just kind of run, park yourself into this right there,
and stand still.
And stand still, and then put a move on our guys and run for another 10 or 15 yards, or longer. It was a tough game to watch.
Yeah, and you were there.
I was there. The crowd was in it a little bit. The crowd was not in it nearly enough. There was certainly not a 12th man on, but I think we would have needed that 12th man to actually be on the field playing defense for us.
We would have needed 13th man.
We maybe would have needed 13 players. Yeah, it was tough. And Tommy threw for 245. Danzi had maybe his best game so far.
He did. He had
133 yards.
Yep, he had 133 yards on 7 catches.
Yeah,
and 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
Pretty touchdowns.
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Pretty touchdowns.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't like making comparisons about a team from last year to the team this year. But the one thing I'll say is, if your receivers are catching the ball, it makes it a lot better. These guys are catching the ball.
Yeah.
The guys are catching the ball. It's just that our defense isn't holding up on their end.
Yeah. And Deuce got hurt. I'm not sure what Deuce what he went out with.
He got nailed.
Yeah.
He turned around and the defender just planted himself right in the middle of Deuce, in the middle of his body.
Yeah.
But it was.
But he didn't come back in the game. I don't think.
He was gone for the rest of the game.
So.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember seeing him. So we were a little had some trouble. We didn't necessarily have trouble moving the ball, although, and we had very respectable total yards, right?
Yeah, we had 415,
Yeah.
total yards.
Yeah.
245 passing, 170 rushing. This is the first game in the 6 games that we've actually been out. That a team has had more production than us and time of possession.
Yeah.
So not climbing in the right
No.
direction.
So this was the least number of yards that we've gained all
Correct.
season long in a game, and usually when you intercept 2 passes in a game, usually that's going to result in a win.
Yeah. But like I said, offensively, we're doing what we did. Had 21 first downs. We were 6 of 12 on third. We didn't go for any fourth downs because we didn't have to. Penalty-wise, we had 8 penalties for 72 yards. Some of those penalties were, lack of concentration, like the one on Deuce. He slapped a guy in his face.
Yeah.
After they were pushing.
Yeah, that hurts.
And you're not supposed to do that. Another thing is in the second half of this game, we only scored 10 points.
Yeah, and then the touchdown was with like 2 minutes, right at 2 minutes left, right?
It was like 48 seconds left.
Oh gosh, it was that much.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember that we had the ball.
Yeah, we got the ball with like
you're right.
A little close to 2
you're
minutes.
Right, yeah.
A little close to 2 minutes.
I mean, Coach was playing the timeout game really well there at the end because he knew he was going to get the 2 minute timeout too. You're right. I was confusing myself with other late game issues with the Noles this year. But yeah, so then when you're depending on an onside kick, tough.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach said at the beginning of this, we played the clip from his post-game press conference, that he's pissed. I think that people around our fan base are maybe a little bit upset.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be frustrated with results. We've lost three straight games. I'm frustrated with the results, and ultimately we got to get it fixed. We got to go make it better, and show the potential of what this team is, on a consistent basis. But yeah, there's every bit of frustration, and there's no fan that's out there that's more frustrated than I am. And there's been a lot of work and investment and push with this team, and we got to get the job done. And that's what it comes down to. But I understand their frustrations, and we're going to get it fixed, and we're going to get it right.
All good things that the coach says there, but I'm not sure if he is the most frustrated of everybody.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of memes going around.
Yeah.
And they've been some good funny ones. You shared a good one yesterday. Other coaches, other teams, when they fire coaches.
Yeah. So the meme that they're just talking about, a lot of people probably have seen this. It's a shot of both Coach Napier from University of Florida, the Gators, the Swamp Lizards, and Norvell, and is talking about our game after the next 5 ACC matches that we've got. Yeah. We've got that annual game against the Gators, and the meme is it's the Florida playoff proposal, or the Florida end of season proposal, that the team that wins gets to fire their coach. The team that loses has to extend the contract.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. Kind of. So there's a lot of disgruntled fans right now.
Yeah, I've seen some memes, and there was one that says, Jimbo has enough from his Texas A&M buyout that he can actually pay off getting rid of Norvell.
Now
have some extra money.
And he'd have some money. That's an interesting prospect. I wonder if Jimbo has even thought about that, because it does seem like Jimbo may have an affinity to or a desire to come back, right?
Well, you think about it, he was pushing for a football-only facility and things like that, and,
check the box
there. So, he was actually pushing for better salaries for his coaches.
Check that box.
Check the box there. So
even more just support from the boosters to begin with, right?
Right.
Check that box.
So, he, like you said, like we talked about earlier, 11 years later, and Jimbo would have everything that he asked for.
There you go. It was he could walk right in. So, what would you? I mean, let's just play this out. What would you think of that scenario? Would you be in favor of it?
I have mixed emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I have mixed emotions only because the way he left.
Yeah.
The way, and I can understand why he left and the way he left, but I guess it would be frustrating if you're saying, hey, I can see the future, and the guys that you're proposing it to really can't see it.
Yeah. And there will be already are, and then there will be even more head coaching jobs out there available by the end of this season that if Jimbo really wants to get back in coaching.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming if he gets a job, then A&M probably really wants him to get a job, because that would A&M still have to pay off that guaranteed money?
Well, no, his is guaranteed no matter what.
Okay, well then
he didn't have
care,
most coaches now where it's a prorated portion.
Right.
His was 100% fully guaranteed, whether you coach or you don't coach. From day one, if he would have never walked on the field, he was going to make that $77 million.
So I think Jimbo needs to adopt us as the brothers that he never knew he wanted. Or
Absolutely.
Needed. Yeah, that would be a great thing. Hey, there was the most positive thing in my mind. Actually, there were two things. Our most positive play in the early part of the Pitt game was the Pitt kickoff that went out of bounds, before the.
Yes.
So I turned to a guy at the opposite end zone and said, "Hey, that's our best play of the game so far." But the other real positive thing was the university was recognizing Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
During the game, and honored two of our coaches who have won their battles, kicked their battles with cancer, Coach Wyckoff and Coach Alameda. So they were on the field, and everybody was just really cheering for that.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
We've got now to travel West Coast.
The West Coast hasn't been very friendly to us lately.
No, in multiple sports.
Right. But in football, realistically, we are 1-3 in the last 4 times we've traveled out that way.
And that goes back 12 years,
yes.
Right?
We won a national championship there.
Okay, that's a good thing. And we beat who for the national? That was at the Auburn game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we beat Auburn in 2015.
2013.
2013. I don't know my
2014, we went back.
Okay.
The next year, first year of the actual supposed playoffs.
Oh, okay.
And we lost to Oregon.
Tough. Yeah. Okay. So we're 1-1.
Right.
At that point.
We lost to Cal.
Lost to Cal.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's not looking very prosperous for us to go out West Coast.
Yeah. And we've got Stanford coming up this Saturday night, 10:30 games. I guess 7:30 on the West Coast,
right.
But 10:30 game. It's going to be on ESPN, so we'll get a chance to watch it.
If you stay up late.
All of us diehard Noel fans, which
yes.
would be probably 2 of us here in the room.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a room, and only 2 people in the room, so I said 2 of us in the room.
Yeah.
But, it's, we've talked about this before we started recording the podcast, the what ifs. I mean, if we're seeing and hearing a lot of buzz around Coach Norvell with this now 8-game losing streak in the ACC, if we make that a 9-game losing streak, what's going to happen? I mean, is that buzz going to?
It's going to get louder.
Even get louder.
Yeah.
That was actually, it got so loud that my phone just started blowing up there. I think that's all of the fans of the meme that are getting back to me. But yeah, wow. I mean,
it becomes hard to stand behind a coach when you're not even winning conference games.
Yeah.
Now, granted, preseason, we weren't highly ranked.
There was no expectation. I
right.
think people were thinking maybe a 6-win, 7-win on the outside season, right?
Right.
Still can get to that.
Yes, we can. But, like I said from the very beginning, I don't think we should have gotten ranked as high as we were after the Alabama win.
Yeah.
And then the two teams after that,
And we kept moving up.
And I kept saying that I didn't see it yet from us.
Yeah.
I didn't see it yet from us. And, you start playing teams that actually have enough gumption to play and want to win.
Yeah.
And they come to win. And, with the Pitt game, especially with the Pitt game, like I said, they came to win. They came to score points.
Yeah.
And they did, put a little salt in the wound. Our women's volleyball team,
That's right.
they fell to Pitt this week also.
Yeah, and it was it was a full and loud arena. Taylor Cox, our operations and programming manager here at WFSU FM, was at the game. He said it really is fun, a lot of fun.
Yes.
But Pitt just put us down.
Yes.
Yeah. So
For Pitt this year.
this weekend was an offer with against the Panthers.
Yes.
I did kind of like their mascot. It's kind of a cute looking mascot. Was out on the field, but gee whiz, and I actually had a nice conversation with one of their cheerleaders, who, by the way, did not know whether there would be a considered a penalty. I forget what it was now, which tells me that their cheerleaders really maybe not necessarily know much about the game of football. They're just there to cheer.
Yes.
At least in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He said it was nice, a cool wind. Wanted to know if it was always windy in Tallahassee. He says no, come here in August.
Yeah.
But he also said, he left 30 or 40 degree temperatures in
So they were happy.
So this was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they were happy to be here.
Yeah. But so nice group of cheerleaders. But yeah, too bad that now we're tied with BC, I think, at the bottom of the ACC.
Yeah, they are 0-4 in conference play, and we are 0-3.
Yeah, and then we're just that's tough, very tough. So not only did we have bad news out of the Doak Campbell Stadium area of Tallahassee,
Bragg Memorial.
Bragg was equally disappointed with the outcome of their game against North Carolina Central.
Yes, but unlike the FSU game,
Mm-hmm.
the Rattlers weren't in it from the kickoff.
Not even, and I guess unlike this was not a conference loss for
Right.
them. Big deal, 45-7. That was a beatdown.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think Coach Colsey didn't really have any answers. It's interesting that you hear coaches in their press conference after the game. It's always, we got to get better. It's on me. We're going to get back to the basics. All this, and this is what happens with probably even the folks of the alumni and the supporters and the fans of FAMU. We're tired of hearing that as those excuses, those reasons. I mean, let's just find a way to win.
Well, the one thing about it, this is a result-oriented profession.
Yeah, it is.
You don't win, you gotta go.
Mm-hmm. I remember talking with Leonard Hamilton at a dinner one time. He happened to be at the same table. It was a Boys and Girls Club thing where he was the speaker. And one thing he talked about is it's challenging that your job is dependent on every play of what the outcome of the work of a 18, 19, 20-year-old kid.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But as far as then when it comes to football, you always hope that they're going to maybe adapt and make some changes at halftime, which we don't seem to be doing. And I'm guessing same thing for the Rattlers. Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, so far.
Mm-hmm.
But you said there was one bright spot, I guess, or one positive that came out of this game.
One positive that came out of the game at Bragg is the suspension that Joe Bullock had to, endure, as he should have.
Yeah.
They're still don't know because the SWAC actually asked for 2 games.
And
FAMU wanted 1.
Okay.
So we don't know the results of that yet. They haven't come back with a complete answer yet.
But if they come back and agree with FAMU, then Joe is back
For
back with announcing games.
Back next week.
Next week.
For homecoming.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're probably really hoping that.
Well, and for Joe Bullard, it'd be his 50th year being an announcer.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big deal for FAMU.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Understood.
that's one of the reasons they're pushing it. But what he said was just definitely uncalled for. So
Yeah. So we move on.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to sit back around these microphones next Monday afternoon, and we're going to either be talking about finally we got a win, then 4-3 in the ACC, or we're sitting at 3-4, and everybody's calling for Norvell's head. So that's what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
But and until then, anything else? Any parting comments here from the other side of the table?
Like I said, this Stanford game coming up, it's I give us a 50-50 chance because, like I said, traveling out to the West Coast hasn't been pleasant for us.
Body clocks for athletes. It's the same time.
And not only that, Stanford hasn't been blown out of any games.
No,
they play solid defense.
Yeah. Do they have a quarterback that can scramble at all?
Actually, he does move really well.
Okay. Well, it's. Let's not have too many high hopes then.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, good talking to you, man.
Absolutely.
It's time for us to say goodbye here after one more week of terrible news coming out of the Campbell Stadium and the Florida State University football team.
But it's always go Noles.
It's always go Noles, and we will see you next time on Tally Benchwarmers.